I was a Marine. I defended our embassy in Iraq.
I was in the Army. I was a combat photographer in Somalia.
We did a lot of good over there.
I saw a fellow soldier save the life of a child.
That's why I'm still serving.
And that's why I'm still serving.
These are the stories of true American heroes, of men and women who served in the U.S. Armed Forces, veterans now, still serving their fellow Americans.
In this edition of Still Serving, I'll introduce you to the Undersecretary for Benefits, former Air Force Brigadier General Allison Hickey.
Always in the forefront, she was in the first Air Force class to include women. After being in the Air Force for 27 years, she retired after piloting 4 different types of aircraft and then started a second career at the Pentagon.
Her work as director of the Air Force's Future Total Force Office resulted in a comprehensive shift in business plan and operations for over 500,000 Air Force personnel worldwide. This significant transformation resulted in new capabilities for joint warfighters and designed for the Air Force its future force structure plan, one that continues to be implemented today.
General Hickey just finished her first year at VBA, leading a major transformation initiative.
She is no stranger to making major strategic changes.
Allison's ability to lead change was a hallmark of her service in the Air Force, and those same qualities will serve her well here in leading transformation within the VBA.
I heard the call to action to be part of a solution to bring VA's people, processes, and technology solutions together in an integrated way, all focused on this nation's deserving veterans and their families, active, National Guard, and Reserve. As a strategic planner by trade, I clearly know the power of a compelling vision.
She is a hands-on leader with a passion for helping active duty service members and veterans.
As a veteran myself, I have recent firsthand experience in transitioning to veteran status. As a result, I will never lose sight of the experiences of all our veterans and their families.
A big question she had to answer at her confirmation hearing in April of 2011 was, what background do you bring to this job that ensures that you can bring down the claims backlog using technologies?
My recent industry experience includes a focus on areas directly related to VBA's core mission, including transactional business operations, customer relationship management, and experience with information technology systems that provide transparency, increase accountability, and speed the delivery of services to customers. I believe that my past experience makes me highly qualified to manage the complexities and challenges of the claims transformation efforts currently underway at VBA, as well as other areas vital to our veterans' benefits.
Retired in a couple months.
Oh, yeah?
We caught up with General Hickey in Detroit at the VA Open House, part of the hiring and small business conferences. And catching up with her is no easy task. It's no surprise that she garnered over 1,500 hours of flight because she moves like lightning around the conference floor. Completely focused on getting the next unemployed veteran to a VA booth or to a benefits table that will help.
So I'm hands-on because I think it's important all the way through our VA system and our employees and our stakeholders that we are talking with veterans to know what the real issues are that they face every single day. Bar none, the reaction I've got from talking to our veterans, and I purposely stopped the ones that look a little confused and a little overwhelmed by all that we've brought to bear here, but bar none, the response I've gotten is, wow, I have never been in an environment where you have brought everything that I could care about as a veteran or a departing service member to one place.
Her background gives her a unique insight into the concerns of veterans.
That I have heard from our veterans who have been here today. You know, I'm an infantry guy. I walk the streets of Fallujah and Baghdad. I mean, how do I convert that to anything that one of these employers would want to hire me for? And so I have to remind them to step back from what they did in that physical MOS, and let's think about what do you do in order to be there. So by example, I have seen military resumes where they're not out looking for a training job, but their resume is full of things they've done to train people. And so I say to them, why aren't you looking for a training job somewhere? Do you know that every industry, every federal agency in the world has people who are involved in training others how to do tasks? And that's what you did when you taught them how to take apart their weapon or their vehicle or some number issue of that. And by the way, why aren't you in there talking about how dependable you are, how you're in early and you're out late and you're always taking, you're doing taking the extra mile, and that you're committed to what you do, and that you're professional with the way you handle things, and that you're in it for the long haul. You want to be with that company, develop loyalty to that company, and carry them through to their mission, because that's what you do every day. I also look at them and say, by the way, do you have a VA for Vets account? And they say, no, why? I say, if you go on VA for Vets, it's going to translate some of that MOS capability into a commercial skill industry perspective or into a federal job. Yesterday I ran into a young vet here who'd been an Iraq, Afghanistan vet, came home, used his GI Bill to go get his degree in biology. And he didn't know what to do with it as he's wandering around the floor talking to people. And I looked at him and I said, I don't know if this is of interest to you or not, but the Detroit regional office here in VA is hiring claims examiners, and you might not know what that is, but guess what? It benefits you to have a biology degree, because we look at all the medical conditions associated with a veteran's claim. I said, are you interested in working for VA? Oh yeah. So I took him to meet the Detroit regional office director. That's part of, of helping them to expand their vision of what's next for me. Thank you for your service.
But it's not just her passion. It's a clear understanding of the program she leads, something that was obvious as she ran through the list of benefits available at the fair.
So we are one of 3 events that are going on right now here in Detroit. There's a hiring event that's going on that takes our veterans in turn and helps them quickly get into that career-ready model. It's different than a job fair. They're literally getting help with getting their benefits accounts, getting online, getting their letters for their service connectability or their preference, going through counseling sessions with counselors, redoing their resumes and lining up for actual interviews and getting jobs today. But the second piece is about taking care of their current benefits needs. So we have every single one of our business lines here in VBA represented today. So we first say, let's help you get situated if you need a job, but by the way, if you have a compensation claim with us that we need to talk about, are you having any issues with your education environment? Have you taken advantage of your GI Bill? Do you know about the new benefit bill in education if you're a 35 to 60-year-old unemployed veteran called VRAP? We even have our insurance people here to explain what service group life insurance, when you translate that into veterans group life insurance, why some of our veterans who have been wounded, ill, and injured might want to elect a veterans group life insurance because they may find some insurability issues when they get out. We're also here, our VA home loan people are on the other side of this environment. And they have been steadily answering questions for veterans about their home loans. We've had a few that have had issues. They've picked up the phone, they've taken care of them on the spot. And I've had actually a veteran come find me to tell me afterwards, wow, that was great. We've got our voc rehab counselors on this side of the curtain who are sitting down, talking to people, getting them involved and engaged and signed up for VRNE services, filling out their application packages, helping them to understand what their Chapter 31 benefits in education might be and how they can help them to get jobs, non-paid work experience, getting them, considering a plan for their lives and their futures if they are some of our more wounded, ill, and injured veterans. So we're here in force, not just to help them get jobs. We have our entire benefit assistance service up here, getting them on e-benefits, getting them their premier account, showing them how to navigate that environment, and come into a good place for them to self-serve even after they leave here and go home.
One of her VA passions these days is the VRAP program.
The Veterans Retraining Assistance Program, VRAP, may be able to help.
Is a one-year education benefit for our 35 to 60-year-old veterans who are unemployed, trying to figure out how they get into a new market because maybe they lost their job in a market that doesn't exist anymore in their environment, but they don't have access to any more GI Bill benefits, to, in other words, to retrain themselves. So a great benefit by both parties in D.C., strongly supported by Congress and the administration, to give these 35 to 60-year-old veterans who have expired all their other education benefits 1 year that is focused in a high demand job environment. I'll tell you, that list is pretty wide and pretty deep, so you're going to find something you'd like to do. And it comes, much like Chapter 30 did for us, where yes, you get a living stipend. It's not the same as the Chapter 33 GI Bill, but still good. And you get your courses paid for, and you get your books and fees paid for, and it allows you to retrain yourself in one of these high demand areas. There are some sort of guidelines around it. It needs to be something that you're doing, working towards a two-year degree or certificate. It only pays for 1 year, so you if you need to go 2 years, you'll have to have a provision for yourself or a plan for doing that second year. But it gives you a kickstart in getting there, and it's a really great one. I will tell you, I've been walking the floor all day yesterday, and I've been looking at people who look like they might be in that range, 35 to 60. And I've been saying, are you aware of this? And some are and some aren't. And we've been saying, have you used all? Yeah, I used all mine. Can I walk you right over to the VRAP folks who we have on the floor today who are going to sign you up today? And it's important you do it now because we have a limited window for this. We have 45,000 veterans we're allowed to put on this between 1 now and 1 October. We've been open for 5 weeks. We've already got more than 25,000 veterans. I don't even know how many we signed up in the last 24, 36 hours here. And once we hit that 45,000, then we have to wait till October for the next 55,000 veterans that we'll touch. So we've done a good job of helping people know about that as well.
Allison Hickey is a leader who has walked in the shoes of those we serve. So would she have come to an event like this when she left the service?
I'm really excited about what we're doing here. I retired in 2007, and when I did, there wasn't anything like this where everything was in one place to help me figure out my new world. I would have been down on the small business side learning about all of that. I've been over here in a hiring event, getting my e-benefits premier account, making sure I knew how to work that. And I don't care whether you're a private leaving today from a tour in Iraq, or whether you were a general officer as I was, leaving a 27-year Air Force career. You walk into a new world, it's settling for everybody. You don't exactly know what you're going to do. You're looking, you're searching, you're trying to find, what do I do next in life, and how am I successful? And you don't know anything about your benefits, you don't understand much, or you didn't. And so this is such a great place to get all of that in one fell swoop.
When she talks about the veterans that were helped at the conference, it's obvious why Allison Hickey is still serving.
I walk around and I'm talking to veterans, and we go take care of them here and we take care of them there. We send them to go get their GI Bill stuff done. We send them to get their e-benefits. We get them lined up for a job interview. We send them down to small business to learn about that. They are coming back to this event. They're finding me. They've got mist in their eyes, and they're just telling me how much they appreciate everything that we are doing to help them.